Three, two, one. Say H to the is O, V to the is A. For shizzle, my nizzle used to dribble down in VA. H to the is O, V to the is A. That's the anthem. Get your damn hands up. H to the is O, V to the is A. Not guilty, y'all got to feel me. H to the is O, V to the is A. That's the anthem. Get your damn hands up. Hey yo, welcome back to another episode of the Arts Block Podcast. I'm your host, Eric Curry III, and today we should really change the lyrics to that song to H to the uh-oh. Hove looks like he's in some trouble. Just a little bit. Kind of, not really. We're going to dive deeper into that and unpack that. How are you guys doing? Are y'all doing well? Or have you eaten? Have you drinking water today? If you haven't done those things, go ahead, do those things on a Wednesday. It's Wednesday. Come on. Like you're in the middle of the week. We're almost to the part of the week. If you're a student, we're almost to the end of the semester. Hey, we're almost to the end of the semester. If you are a not I didn't know what I was trying to say right there. If you are if you are not a student and if you go to work, you are halfway through your work week. We're almost there, ladies and gentlemen. We are almost there. Thank y'all for tuning in to another episode of the Arts Block Podcast. If you are tuned in on your favorite podcast platform, please make sure you please give me a 5-star and a review. You can say that this is the greatest podcast that you have ever heard in your life, and that will suffice. If you are listening on YouTube, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, turn on post notifications so you can be notified every time we post a pod. All right, what are we going to talk about today? First and foremost, I'm going to talk about my Spotify Wrapped as a podcast, and just give you all just thanks for like all of your support and stuff. I will also be talking about Jay-Z, who just got sued for some things. We're going to dive deep into that as well. And then we're going to talk about the on the radar white guy saying that boom-bap is unk music. I still haven't watched Doechie's Tiny Desk yet. I'm sorry. I'm in the middle of finals. I've been studying, and through studying, I have to get the pod together and all that. I still haven't watched Doechie's Tiny Desk. I'm sorry. I promise. I pinky promise that Sunday's pod there will be talks of Doechie and her Tiny Desk on Sunday's pod. Pinky. All right, let's dive deep into it. Listen, I want to thank you guys so much just for your unwavering love and support. I'm going to try to do this without getting emotional. Gosh darn it, Eric. This is going to be rough. All right. So I don't normally look at analytics or anything like that. They give me so much anxiety, so much stress that's added onto those things. So I just try to stay as far away from those things as possible. But sometimes it's inevitable, and you can't just run away from what you eventually have to see. Now, when I opened my Spotify, right, and it was time for me to upload a pod for, last pod, I believe, I couldn't help but look on Anchor and see that, hey, I am now able to view my Spotify Wraps. This is my first time ever receiving a Spotify Wrapped as a podcast. And I was scared because, again, I don't really look at the numbers like that. I don't really look at like the things that deep just because of the anxiety of it all. I just can't deal with it. But I'm going to give y'all some of the numbers that I've seen, right? Some of the numbers that were given to me by you guys on Spotify platform. And I just can't say I appreciate, I cannot say this enough, how much I appreciate you guys. Like, I really, truly appreciate you guys. All right. let's jump into it. It's loaded. It's up here. I got it. Let's go. Um, so I have gained from the last time I've potted, like the last, I guess, year straight I've potted. I've gained over 400% when it came to listeners, over 1,000% when it came to streams, and I've gained 72% in followers. I've gained over 400% in listeners, 72% in followers, and 999% in streams. Just in this year, that's how much I've gained. Also, that's not even the best part, right? This is the part that like I kind of got emotional at. Wait, hold on. Before I even get there, 42% of you guys are in the age range that I want to be in. My age range, my target audience, I'm reaching all my marks, right? But this is the part that that kind of got me choked up. Hold on. I gotta scroll through a lot. There's a lot. All right. So the people who listen to my podcast also listen to the Joe Budden podcast. They listen to Crime Junkie. They listen to Radio Rental. They listen to New Royal Mall, and they listen to Andrew Schultz Flagrant. Now, Joe Budden podcast is one of the biggest inspirations I've had when it came to starting a pod. The Joe Budden podcast with Rory and Maul on it. So the fact that Joe Budden and Rory and Maul's podcast are ranked as some of the podcasts that my audience looks to or watches alongside me really means a lot. Crime Junkie is one of the top rated podcasts in podcasting game. Like Crime Junkie is one of them. So the fact that people listen to some of the top podcasts in the game, then want to listen to my podcast and associate my podcast with their ears and listening and all that great stuff, it means so much to me that words cannot express. Words cannot express how much it means to be in some of you all same conversations as the biggest podcast, especially in the specific genre that I am in podcasting, being considered or listened to alongside a Joe Budden, a Crime Junkie, a Radio Rental, Roy Mall, Flagrant. I really appreciate that. And it means more than anything. Really. It means more than anything. Also, I am a top 10 show for some of you. For some of you, I'm in your top 10. For another some of you, I'm in your top 5. And this is so crazy to me that for another part of you, I am your number 1 show that you listen to on Spotify. I am your number 1 podcast that you listen to. And then not only that, but it says your top fans listen to you 9.1 times more than your other listeners. So the people who listen that much more, who listen 9 times more, shout out to you. I love you. I appreciate you. I get so much anxiety about these things, about numbers, about who's listening, about who's watching, about if people even care about what I'm doing, if people even like look at what I'm doing, if what I'm doing has purpose or meaning behind it. But you guys, you all continue to show me that what I am doing is bigger than me, and that there are people out there that enjoy what I'm doing. And there are people out there who listen to me so much, 9.1 times more than anyone else. That is I appreciate you guys so much. I'm filled with so much gratitude. I'm filled with so much just happiness and love, and I'm so grateful for this platform, that you guys trust me enough with this platform to share with your friends, to like, to comment, to, you know, argue back and forth, to whatever the case may be, that you guys trust me enough, and this is a safe enough space where we can sit, talk about art forms, come up with a solution to how to make the world a better place through creating and creativity. And I'm glad that I can be somebody that, man. Man, I'm glad that I can be somebody that you all can I don't want to say look up to, but you all can look at as an example of somebody who's in this journey with you, who is right there with you, who is hand to hand with you. I'm not better than you. I'm not further than you. I'm not none of that. Trust me, I'm not. We are at the same place, same pace. I promise you we are. However, if you keep listening to these episodes and I keep giving these episodes to you all, and you keep doing your part by liking, commenting, sharing, doing reviews, all of that stuff, and I keep doing my part with giving you guys the quality content, the quality podding, the quality that you guys have been now used to and accustomed to, I promise we both will go so far in our lives, in our careers, and whatever you want to do. I promise. Just stick by me. I promise we're going to get there. I promise we are. That's not me dreaming. That's not me. No, that's a promise that I can make. I pinky promise that if you keep sticking beside me and I keep doing my job as a podcaster, I promise we will make it to the other side. Again, I cannot thank you guys enough. Literally, when I looked at it, I was in my bed and I was almost brought to tears. I was so emotional because I work so hard, dog. I work so hard. And the last pod that I did, I was talking about how hard I worked and how tired I was and how much I did. And now I'm just sitting here looking at you guys and what you guys are doing and like how you guys are supporting the show, how much the show has grown. And there's nothing more I appreciate than you all who just have stuck beside me, who have listened, who have watched. Again, like, I cannot thank you all enough. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I know there's a lot of people that listen to the pod and they're like, man, I feel like you're talking to me and I feel like you're getting on me. You're like my dad or my uncle or whatever. You remind me of these people. But my goal with this, and the thing I really just want you all to do, is to know that whatever dream you have, no matter who supports you or not, that you should be your number one supporter. And if you're not even your number one supporter, I'm your number one supporter. I stand behind you 10 toes in whatever you want to do. I don't give a damn if you want to be the best mailman in the world. If that is your dream, if that is what you're passionate about, if you're passionate about giving people's delivery times down by 3 hours, any fashion I can help you with that, I want to help you. If you want to be the best plumber, the best mechanic, the best goddamn janitor, I don't care what you want to do. I stand 10 toes with you, and you have somebody that believes in you, and I believe in you so much because you guys believe in me so much. So I just want to say thank you dearly from the bottom of my heart. This means so much to me. It means the world to me. You guys are making my dreams come true, and I hope that you guys' dreams are coming true by listening to this, watching this, and taking what I have to say in, the little that I have to say in. And it's crazy because, like, again, like, doing 2 pods a week isn't easy. Like, waking up and having to look at the news all the time and having to go on Twitter and Instagram all the time just so you can get a good podcast topic is not easy. Being going through all of the gossip and finding out the real problems and issues going on, that is not easy. Looking at things, trying to do research and find that things are not easy. People hit you up about wanting to be on the pod, but you just not having time to do interviews right now. That is not easy. It's certain things that just aren't easy, but you guys and me looking at things like that makes my job so easy. You guys make it way more easy. Having to adjust schedules and all that, whatever the case may be, you guys make my job 10 times easier. And there is no way that I can the only thing I can say is just thank you. Like, thank you guys, like, from the bottom of my heart, for just rocking with me and believing in me and believing in this thing. And even if you don't believe in me or believe in this thing and you just are here for pure entertainment and you just like this and this is just funny to you and comedic and you're not learning anything, I love you too. And I appreciate you too, because you are also a big help. Like, man, I don't care nothing about the arts, but this guy is just funny. I like this guy. And also, if you don't like me, if you hate me, if you hate everything that I do, and if you hate this podcast, I love you, you hating son of a. All right, next thing on the docket, Jay-Z, H to the O, allegedly, but he got sued. But he got sued for allegedly having intercourse with a 13-year-old girl and a 2000s VMAs after party alongside Sean the Diddler Combs. All right. Now, when I first saw this, I was on the train. I was on the train back home. And I looked and I was like, dang. This is crazy. This is crazy. I wrote it down on my phone, and the first thing that popped in my head is H to the O. And I was like, oh, that's genius. That's genius, because I remember everybody saying that, oh, the light is going to be shined out, right? By the time I got back home, took my shower, done my night routine, whatever the case may be, got comfortable in my bed, I sat down, opened Instagram, and I seen this nigga Jay-Z came out with a response already. I promise you, it was within an hour, if not less. I guarantee it. I guarantee you his response was in less than an hour. I can't find his statement. Long story short, he made a statement, and it was very, very, hey, if I really did this thing, don't file a civil suit, file a criminal one. Also, I know who you are and I know how you get down. He's talking like Jay saying, I know who you are to the lawyer who sued. I know how you get down to the lawyer who sued. Apparently, the lawyer who sued him by the name of Busby. Yeah. Again, Busby. What's his name? Busby. Yeah, Busby. Apparently he has a track record of doing these things. Apparently, this is something common for him to do, trying to get quick money grabs out of celebrities in hopes to get them to settle. However, Hov was not into settling this matter. He wants to take this to court. And I can see a countersuit happening very soon. What I found is somebody on Twitter by the name of, give me 1 second, the Bay Theory, like Beyonce, yeah. At the Bay Theory, shout out to you for this. And basically, this person broke down the whole lawsuit, and apparently there's another one. So there's two. There's one suit that was out, and then there's another one that was revised and fixed, and the one that was revised and fixed is the one that we see today. All right, so I'm gonna try to break this down as quickly as humanly possible. Bear with me, guys. All right, for starters, this is all from the Bay Theories. If you want to do a deeper dive, go on their Twitter account and you can see it. So this is, and it reads. So I decided to read through the lawsuit, and I read it when it came out, but today I noticed a lot of inconsistencies. I want to point out a few. For starters, the VMAs September 2000 was held in Radio City in New York. The show started at 8 p.m. Eastern. So this is very important. This was VMA's night at Radio City in New York City. If you don't know where Radio City Music Hall is in New York City, that's like Midtown area. That's like Midtown. That's going to be very important when it comes to the rest of this story. So the show ran for 3 hours and 10 minutes. The show ended at 11 p.m. Assuming that the party started exactly at 11 p.m., we will work from there. According to the original claim, Jane Doe stated that she did not have tickets, so she sat outside and watched the show from the Jumbotron. It does not state whether she watched the entire show or not, but then she states that she went around looking for ways to get to an after party and was approaching limousines. According to the original claim, without Jay's name, she stated the driver told her to be back around 9:30. The award show ended at 11, started at 8. The show was nowhere near over at 9:30 p.m. and everyone was still inside. In the updated lawsuit that includes Jay-Z's name, Tony B removed the timestamp from the Tony B. That's the lawyer. His name's Tony Busby. That's his name. Tony B removed the timestamp of the driver claiming to meet at 9:30, knowing it would not add up because all celebrities were still inside the venue at the award show. The new claim states he told her to come back at the spot at the end of the event, so it went from 9:30 to 11. And the new claim, JD claims that JD being Jane Doe claims that the driver told her that he had to drop Diddy and others off at a party first, and then he will come back for her. So that means that the driver left Radio City at 11 p.m. to drop Diddy and whoever off. The original claim doesn't say this. Diddy went to, I believe, hosted by NSYNC, an after party at Twirl that night as well. Jay-Z was not pictured at that party. Again, at 2 nightclubs during the timing of that, she would have been at the house party she described. Then the person popped in some evidence of a picture of Jennifer Lopez and Diddy at Twirl nightclub the night of the said incident happened. Here at Lotus, here's Lotus. It is now closed. Here is an article of the New York NY Post describing Lotus, describing it as opposite of how Jane Doe described the house, saying that it does not appear to be in the right neighborhood, implying that the neighborhood looked rough, not a gated community. That's going to tie back into something that's going to be said in here. I'm just going to keep reading. She stated it took a long time for the driver to come back for her. The party that Jay went to was roughly about 20 minutes away. VMA's traffic will be insane, so let's say 30 minutes. So to go and come back to Radio City took the driver about an hour. So that means by this time the driver came to get her. Jay-Z was already at the Lotus after party for about 30 minutes. So he just got there. He picks her up and takes her to a gated White House with a U-shaped driveway. So like a mansion that is 20 minutes away. Mind you, she says that the limo driver took her to a gated mansion with a U-shaped driveway that is 20 minutes away from Radio City Music Hall in New York City in Midtown. Let's continue talking. Let's note again that the after party Jay-Z attended was not at a house. It was at a nightclub in downtown Manhattan, Midtown Manhattan, not downtown, hosted by Eminem. Well, I don't know that. I don't know where Lotus is, or where Lotus was. So the nightclub might have been in downtown Manhattan. In downtown Manhattan, hosted by Eminem and Dr. Dre, there was no driveway at all and no living room as she described, and more likely was invite only. The claim states that the victim accepts a drink from a waiter that is important because the lawyer is saying that Jay-Z drugged her, but the claim filed says that she took a drink from the waiter that was walking around with them. This is the original and new claim about the drinks. And it says in the original claim, it says plaintiff accepted a drink from one of the waitresses circulating the crowd. The drink was a reddish yellow mixture and tasted like orange juice, cranberry juice, and something bitter. In the new suit, it says wait staff circulated through the room carrying trays of drinks and loud music played through the venue. All right. Then it goes on to say the lawyer claims that she went into the room alone, where there was nothing in the room but a bed. The two men and a woman came in. In the new, they added everyone at the party did nothing to stop the assault. If they are in the living room partying, how would they know? So the story we are supposed to believe is that Jay-Z magically left the nightclub and ended up at a random house party at the perfect moment when she was in a room alone after he somehow drugged a drink he didn't give her and out of several rooms knew exactly which one she was in. And that's the story. Oh, and then the main question is this question. Are there any New Yorkers who can give insight on the landscape there? Is it true that there are no gated mansions that close to downtown Manhattan area? 20 minutes from Radio City to drive a near gated house isn't a thing in NY, correct? That was a lot. I know that was a lot. That was a lot for me to read as I was reading it in one of my classes. But this is the main thing that I got from this, though, right? And I find it interesting that she said that, one, I find it interesting that there's two different suits, and there's like an updated suit, right? I find that very interesting. However, what I really do find interesting is that in the suit, it explicitly says that she ended up at a U-shaped U-shaped driveway at a big mansion in a gated community. I don't know if you all have been to New York. I don't know if you all have been to New York City. There is no way in hell that you are getting a mansion in New York City with a U-shaped driveway. There's no way. There's no way. Just off the basis alone that there is absolutely no space. There's barely spaces for mansions. There are mansions in some parts of Brooklyn, deep parts of Brooklyn, not the parts of Brooklyn that I live in, and in the Bronx. In Queens, in Queens, right? In Queens and in some parts of Queens and like some parts of Brooklyn, maybe the Bronx, right? There are mansions over there. But again, no gated, no U-shaped driveway, no ultra big driveway just because there is no space, because again, you are still in the city. The city is all about maximization. Again, the reason I learned about air rights is by time in New York and wondering why how different companies can build on top of another different company, something called air rights. So if you're selling air rights to a building, what makes you think that there's enough space and that's the only way you can have your storefront or your business wherever in New York is if you buy the top of another building and build on top of that. What makes you think that there is enough space for a big mansion with a U-shaped driveway? Also, another thing, right, is that this is VMA's night, 2000. Any event of this caliber is huge, and it is well documented of where people are during these type of nights. Paparazzi is everywhere at all times. Is well documented on where people are and where people are going on this specific night, on any type of award show nights, right? Because paparazzi is out, the media is out, is people following people, everybody's going to be everywhere, right? It's very easy to trace all of these things. I'm not going to sit up here and say that this young lady or whoever the young lady is, whoever the victim is lying about her being assaulted. I'm not going to say that because I'm not going to victim shame. I'm not going to do that, right? This lady could be telling the truth, that she actually did get assaulted on this night, on this day, by a celebrity. I just don't think that it's this celebrity. That's the only thing. And I'm not saying that because I'm not like a Jay-Z like Stan like sitting over here like, oh, Hove didn't do it. Da, 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 da. Mind you, the title of this episode is H to the it can still get down and dirty if need be. But again, I don't think that he did this. The only reason I'm saying that I don't think that he did this is just because it's a lot of things that aren't lining up. One, with the old suit, and just two, with just New York City culture in general. Like, if you claim that hold on, let me go back to it. If you if in the original claim the driver told you to be back at the spot at 9:30, that doesn't make sense, because if you're at the spot at 9:30, nothing started, because the award show doesn't end until 11. These are things that are easily, like, you can easily look a lot of these things up, and I think that's the problem. You can easily look a lot of these things up. A lot of these things are fact checkable by non-lawyers, and also Jay-Z has the best lawyers in the world. Why do you think that him and his law team aren't going to be on top of this thing? Also, another thing that I wanted to point out is how the media is when it comes to taking all of this information in. People think we are now, ladies and gentlemen, we are now in the day and age where if I defend myself from a case that somebody's trying to make on me, or a claim that somebody has on me, if I defend myself, I am now guilty. However, if I don't defend myself and I let it blow past and I don't say anything, now it's all, why is he not saying anything? Oh, he might be guilty because he's not saying anything. If I respond too late, I'm guilty. If I respond too fast, I'm guilty. If I don't do nothing, if I just sit and mind my business, I am now guilty. You cannot win in the court of public opinion. That is what I'm now learning from this case. Also, there's multiple different things that is happening in this case that I haven't seen in any other case. For example, Jay-Z's lawyer said that he got a call from an anonymous lady saying that she was asked to make false claims upon him from this same lawyer. Jay-Z also asks, hey, I will like miss the lady that's accusing me of this to reveal herself. Now, I don't think that that's a good idea, just because I don't want the victim to feel one, I don't want her to feel pressured. One, I don't want her, like, I know how the media can get, and I know how fans and stan culture can get, and niggas can be weird, and I don't really want that on her, right? But if he is saying all of these things, and he's saying, hey, you might want to file a criminal suit, hey, you might want to do X, Y, and Z, people are saying, oh man, well, Diddy said the same thing, that he's not guilty. Diddy did not say that, hey, we want to take this to court. Diddy ain't say he want to take this to court. Diddy said, hey, these things against me are not true, they're false, X, Y, and Z, da, 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 da. No, Jay-Z came out and said, hey, I want to take this to court. I want to go to court with this. We are, hey, if you don't rectify this, you think we want to settle? We don't want to settle. We actually want to fight this. For real, if we're being honest. Diddy didn't want to fight his case. Diddy just said, I didn't do it. Jay is saying, hey, psst, if you take it there, I'm taking it further. That's something you don't want to do. That man's a sick man, and I think I should leave him alone. I'm just saying, he's a sick man. I think I should leave him alone. The man shot his own brother. I think the nigga who shoots his siblings, y'all should be left alone. I think him. I don't want to mess with him. He doesn't play the same games that you do, and he don't play by the same rules as you do. He plays different games by different rules, and you don't want to play the games he does, because he's been playing these games for well over 10 years at this point. Mr. Busby, I don't know how well known you are in the lawyer game. I'm not in that field, and this is the first time I ever heard of you. But if you are making these claims, and if you have won, that means that, hey, you are making false claims, and some of them might be true. That's why you might have settled out some situations. Hey, whatever the case may be, right? But if you are out here making false claims about people with families and careers that can ruin and jeopardize their career, then that's the problem. Other people are saying, hey, why did Jay-Z respond to this and not all the other accusations, or not all the other rumors that has happened, right? Not all the other rumors that has been spreading about him. Well, because those are rumors. This is a lawsuit. I know some of you struggled in history class and in US government, and I know some of you struggled in some of those things, but let me break this down for you, right? Anybody can spread a rumor. I can spread a rumor right there. Your breath stink. Whoever watching this, your breath stink right now. That's the rumor. Your breath stink. It smell like halitosis. If you're watching this, you stink. That's the rumor. That's the rumor. The rumor is that you stink. But if I file a lawsuit about you stinking and how that's disturbing the people, those are two different things. A rumor and a suit that can literally ruin your life are two different things. Rumors are spread anywhere. Anybody can spread a rumor. You need a lawyer and some evidence to file a lawsuit. Two totally different things. Listen, I'm not going to sit up here and say there's a lot more that I need from this before I can come up with an analysis for this, right? There's a lot more that I need. I'm not going to say what I need, but as more information comes out about this, I will keep you all informed as long, as everything that is being presented is YouTube friendly, to say the least. All right. Now that we're done with that, shout out to all parties involved. And I pray that if that's something else Jay-Z said. Jay-Z said something along the lines of, hey, like whoever would do such thing. Oh, here's the quote. Whoever will commit such crime against a minor should be locked away. Would you not agree? These alleged victims would deserve real justice if that were the case. So he did say that, hey, listen, I do think that victims deserve justice if this were to happen, but basically saying, hey, this not what it ain't happened to me though. Go to that other nigga. All right, last thing on the docket, because I'm so sorry I did not watch that Tiny Desk. Dochi, I love you, Dochi. Dochi, I love you. I'm going to watch the Tiny Desk. Pinky, I promise. I'm going to watch it. Sunday's pod, I'm gonna be locked in. Last thing on the docket. This is why gatekeeping is important, ladies and gentlemen. On the Radar, if you don't know what On the Radar is it's a performance platform where artists gets to go on, they perform their song or perform a couple songs, DJs go on. My man Setfire did On the Radar, and they go and perform. That's what they're most famous for. That's what they're most known for. They also have a podcast, On the Radar podcast. I do not know the young man's name who said these things, but I do know that he is white, and that is the most important part. A white guy said that in hip hop, he does not want to hear all of that boom-bap shit because that is quote unquote unk shit. And he does not want to hear that, and he wants to get that out of there. He does not want to hear boom-bap hip hop. This is why gatekeeping the culture is important. Listen, I kind of get annoyed when I hear people talking about when I hear people in hip hop's business that isn't supposed to be there. I kind of get annoyed a little bit, and I'm not getting annoyed because of like, oh man, who does this white man think he is by not navigating the space of right? No, that's not what I'm mad at. I'm not even mad at him for saying that he doesn't like boom bap rap. I'm mad at the fact that he's not respecting an art form that he is not a part of creating. I'm mad that he is not respecting a culture that he is benefiting from. I am upset that he is not respecting a culture that he hasn't seen his people build from the ground up. He hasn't listened to the albums. He hasn't watched the documentaries. He hasn't talked to the people. He hasn't been around the spaces to know. That's what I'm upset about. And that's what irks me and grinds my fucking gears every time. Seeing somebody in a space that we own, that we love, that we dominate, that we contribute to, that we created, a space that we own, that we created, and seeing you come and just Rick James put your feet on our couch and just disrespect the culture. I can't stand by that, white man. I can't. You, and also I can't take your opinions on the genre seriously enough. The fact that you sat up here and said that that's some unk shit, which I agree, it is. But at the same time, that is where the foundation of hip hop was created. And I will be damned if I disrespect that. I can't disrespect the foundation. There would be no whatever hip hop you like, which the sound is in my head, and I'm mad that it's in my head. That wretched sound of the hip hop that you like, with all of the noises and all of the synths and all of the bad sounds and all of the same sounds and all of the beats that sound the same, all of that you enjoy, that I know for a fact you enjoy. I can probably guess your top 5 favorite rappers right now if I sat down and really tried. That would not be possible without the hip hop, the hippie to the hip hop, and you don't stop rocking to the bang bang boogie. Up goes the boogie to the rhythm of the boogity beat. That would be impossible without that. The Playboy Cardis, the Destroy Lonelys, the Ken Carsons, your guys, the guys that you like, and that's just off the dome. And I know you like those guys because you look like those type of guy to like those guys. Those guys would not have a platform if it wasn't for the originators, because the originators created somebody that created somebody else that created somebody else that created somebody else that created somebody else that created the sound that you like and enjoy. There's certain things that I do condone. I condone criticism about the culture and about the art. I do. Constructive criticism. I accept any type of artistic freedom and expression that we might not have thought of that pushes the culture forward. I also accept that. What I don't accept, though, is the disrespect. And I don't accept people coming into a space that they don't know about, putting their feet on our couch and just being like, yeah, nigga, I'm here. What's up? What's good? What's good, nigga? I'm here. Nah, nigga, you ain't. Get out of our house. Thank y'all so much for tuning into another episode of the Arts Spot Podcast. Before we get on out here, I will give y'all my Dead or Alive. Dead or Alive is a segment on the podcast where me or the artist gets to choose other artists that we would like to work with that is dead or alive. Now, we can choose one artist. We can choose 100 artists. This is my pod. I'm going to do whatever I want. Listen, who I want to work with are all of my friends. I had a great conversation with my man, Mickey. Have a great conversation with my man, Zeb. And even though I have worked with those guys before, I want to do it on like such a grand scale. Like, those are my guys, and I want to work with my guys deeply and truly. Thank y'all so much for tuning into another episode of our Spot Podcast. I'm your host, Eric Curry III. You can follow me on Instagram at Eric Curry III. You can follow the podcast at Arts Block Podcast. If you are listening on YouTube, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, turn on post notifications so you can be notified every time I post a podcast. If you are listening on your favorite podcast platform, please give me a 5-star and a review. You can just say that this is the greatest podcast that you have ever heard in your life, and that will suffice. Remember that artists never die. Remember that I love you and God loves you. Remember to do something that you love every single day. Do it with meaning, do it with person. Hey, do something that you love every single day. Do it with meaning, do it with purpose, do it well. And yeah, that's about it for me, man. I'm out. This has been a pretty long pod. Y'all know I don't even do this. It was the lawsuit thing I had to read. I'm so sorry, guys. I dove deep into it. Pause. I'm gonna see y'all when I see y'all, boys. Peace and love. I'm gone.